a question come through to my email from a viewer, which I very much appreciate. If you ever have a question for me that you would like me to consider answering for you, go ahead and email me at lovemeghansummer@gmail.com. So this particular viewer mentioned that she had just heard from her ex via email after 25 days of being broken up. And she mentioned that he was in a foreign military in the country that she lives in. And he broke up with her with the excuse that, you know, she deserves better, classic excuse, and that he's emotionally unavailable in life and emotions and all of the things. So basically, classic excuse, doesn't really give you too much detail when you're being broken up with, and it's really hard to feel a sense of closure when you're like, okay, you're saying these things, but you're basically just telling me like a line. You're really not expressing to me what I feel like you owe me. So needless to say, of course, she's confused and hurt and whatever. And then, of course, as they do, the ex came back. But did he? So this is the real question. What do you do when your ex reaches out? And of course, that depends on a lot of different things. But in this particular case, I want to kind of dissect how he reached out and what he said in that message, because that really dictates where you go from there, in my opinion. So in this message that he sent her via email, he basically spilled all of his guts. Basically a completely emotional email. I'm sorry for all the things. I'm sorry I was so horrible. I feel horrible. You know, I did all these things and I feel bad and I hope you're okay. I can't get you out of my mind. I. But was there really any question in there for her? Was there any call to action for her? No. It was essentially an emotional brain dump. It's essentially what I ask for people to do after a breakup, especially after they've been broken up with, or, you know, again, if you do the dumping, it's still hard. That's what I ask people to do in a journal entry. I don't ask you to send that to your ex. So basically, she got an emotional brain dump from her ex and was forced to kind of sort through, okay, how do I respond to this? Because after 25 days, like, you're just getting into a new habit of being without someone. I think, isn't a habit formed in 21 days about, yeah, science, whatever. 25 days, you're still vulnerable, especially after, you know, a decently long committed relationship. It hurts. So after reading this, and I asked her, like, okay, do you want to get back together with him, or like, what's the goal here? And, you know, she said, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, regardless, we're going to respond the same way. If you have no interest in this guy, I would just not respond at all whatsoever. But if you feel like it's just going to drive you absolutely bananas, like, yeah, go ahead and respond. If you have to, again, the strongest response is to not do no response. But if you have to respond, this is what we're going to say. Basically going to say, hey, thanks for reaching out. I'm doing great. Have a good life. You know, don't say have a good life. That's passive aggressive. But I said, say something very simple. Thanks for reaching out. I'm doing great. You know, have a great day. That's it. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be passive aggressive, like I naturally threw that in there. I'm not a passive aggressive person. I'm just very sarcastic. So, you know, it's like my natural thing to go to. Did not mean it that way. Do not say that to your ex at all. It makes you sound kind of like a dick, and we don't want to do that at all. Okay? So if your ex reaches out and you feel like you have to reach back out, when one of those stupid emotional brain dumps, all you have to do is be positive back, be super short, and don't ask any questions. Just leave it closed. Leave that door closed. Because what I'm saying is, in his message, he didn't even really ask her anything. He just said, I hope you're doing great, and, you know, you're on my mind and stuff. And it was a very me focused email. It didn't have the call to action of, hey, I've done a lot of, emotional soul searching, and I realized that I made a big mistake and I miss you and I would like to do whatever it takes to get you back. See, that's a whole different response. If we got that email, we'd be writing a whole different response. However, this guy basically just sent his emotional baggage via email and expected her to probably grovel, probably get into a super emotional state and say, oh my gosh, I miss you too, to which he's essentially getting an ego stroke and, he can just move on easily knowing he cleared his conscience, that he cleared his conscience. I'm going to say it again because preach to the choir, that he cleared his conscience at the sake of her sanity, essentially, because she had probably made a lot of progress emotionally after 25 days. But instead he's like, I wonder if she misses me because I feel pretty bad. I wonder if she feels as bad as I do, even though I'm the one that caused her to feel bad. I want to, send her a message and like get my ego stroked because I know she'll probably respond kind of crazy and I want to provoke her because it's going to feel good for me. But little do they know that, she has me on her side and we're not going to let that happen. So what happened with her reply to this email is she stayed with composure. She didn't go crazy. He didn't get an ego stroke because all he got was confirmation that, hey, you have no effect on me anymore. What you do, your actions, your emotions, those are on you. Those are yours. Those are yours to sort through and handle how you see fit because I'm nothing to you anymore because that was your choice. So you don't get that ego stroke. And then third, he got the confirmation that she's doing good. Hey, I'm good. And 4, he didn't even get a question back. Not even a, hey, how are you too? I'd love to know how you're doing. No, because she doesn't care as far as this email goes. So perfect to basically shove someone's attempt at an ego stroke back in their face and basically turn it into an ego stroke on your own because you know their reason for reaching out and you're like, nah, I'm actually going to take the satisfaction from you rather than giving it back to you. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to take that satisfaction from you that you're intending of getting from me and I'm just going to take it. I'll take the ego stroke. So you miss me? Yeah, I would miss me too. I'm pretty great. Yeah, absolutely. So like, bye, have a good day. Like, I'm going to have a good day. Okay. Okay. Bye. You understand? Do you understand where I'm going with this? I have a video all about like reacting, like your reaction. Always stay classy. Always stay classy. Always stay classy. You will regret the time that you do not stay classy. React well because you may regret that decision later. Okay? So when an ex reaches out, we have to do some pretty thorough analysis of what the actual reach out was. And furthermore, we need to look like long-term, like what is our long-term goal with this person? Is it somebody that we would consider getting back long-term? Is it somebody that's potentially good for us? Is it somebody who, you know, we had a really great relationship, but it ended for a couple of reasons that have been resolved? Like, what are the circumstances of the relationship and where do we see that going in our ideal mind? So remember, people change. And we want to plan for that with any of the responses that we have. So with something like this, when they're just basically reaching out and not trying to get us back or anything, we're not playing into that. No. I might have lipstick on my teeth, I'm sorry. But we're not playing into that. I'm not your therapist. I'm your ex-girlfriend. Ex. Could have stayed your girlfriend, but you didn't want that. So instead, we're nothing, okay? So hope you're doing great too, but also don't even need to know, like, bye, all pleasant. You don't see my voice going down. I'm not upset. You're the past. The past has moved on. If you want to be a part of my present and my future, your email is going to have to look a heck of a lot different because mama don't play that game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, we're worth so much more than that. So I'm not saying that you can't ever get back with your exes. I think there are a lot of situations where people are growing and constantly learning about themselves. I really hope. And there's just so much that goes into creating a good relationship. I'm still learning. I'm learning every day, you guys. And I constantly work on this. Imagine those people who do no work at all on themselves. Imagine the people who don't watch videos like this. There is so much work to be done on yourself, as well as the path to learning how to treat other people, that a person from a few years ago with the right work on themselves could be a totally different person and a totally different partner. So when people say, oh, never get back with an ex, for the most part, it's an easy phrase to say because oftentimes it's true and people don't work on themselves. However, those who actually do put in that work and are self-aware and care enough to work on their past traumas and their attachment issues, like I do, I'm very open about that. You know, we become different people every few months. There's a reason why I haven't dated any of my exes. Like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, because within the next couple months after a breakup, like I'm a different person. It's like caterpillar out of the cocoon. Like, I am different and I don't want you no more because I like me. Like, the new me is new, improved, cuter, smarter, funnier. Like, I just don't need it. I'm not going backwards. And neither should you. And neither is this beautiful woman who I helped, you know, craft this email message. We're not giving in and giving ourselves away for a cheap emotional brain dump by somebody we used to know. Because that's how we give back all of not only our power, but our progress. We're not giving back our progress. And you'll hear a lot of things about the no contact rule. And I do absolutely believe that it's a wonderful thing. But there are times when it's not practical, when your anxiety is just gnawing at you and you're like, I have to reach out to this person. Just make sure that you're reacting in a way that you'll be proud of when that anxiety is gone. Understand? So anyway, my name is Megan Sommer. And if you have any questions for me, go ahead and email me at lovemegansummer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notifications thingy so you don't miss any of my future videos. Otherwise, the tubes will not show them to you because that's how it works. And yeah, if you have any like comments, just drop them down there. Comment any future video ideas, whatever you'd like to do. And then if you don't mind, please just like this video. It really does help and it shows YouTube that like I'm decent at this and I do really appreciate that. So anyway, I love you guys and I'll talk to you soon. Also just wanted to let you know that he did end up reaching out to her after that email and tried to like get more. And yeah, this stuff works, you guys. Like if you remain in control, take back your control, remain in control of your emotions. That's a cat, that's Buddy. You know, you'll not only feel better, but you'll get the intended response that you really want. It just might take a little while. And if you remain in control of your emotions until you can respond in a way that you'll be proud of later, you guys, it feels so good. And it just helps you be stronger and stronger and stronger going forward. And oh my goodness, it is funny how the tides turn, mi amigos. It is so funny how those tides, they do turn. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Mwah.